show's starting.
Hello and welcome to PP News, the only news source who's going to give you your daily news necessities with glamour and style. For today's topics, we've got the trial of Mr. McRonald, the rampant discrimination of a certain group of people, a discussion about the very last battle of the very First World War, a discussion about advertising and how it works, and the effects of the coronavirus on education. And lastly, we've got the weather. So first of all, let's get into justice. Say hello to Mr. David Tortilla.
Good evening, Donald. Today we're going to go over the trial and the sentencing of Joseph McRonald, a death row inmate who was convicted of killing his entire family with a frying pan. According to the police, on the 17th of June, Joseph was found in a bar, suffering an etheric coma due to a high consumption of alcohol. He had some blood on his clothes, which he explained with a fight with a drunk peer at the bar. The police, however, didn't even analyze the DNA of this blood, committing grave miscarriage of justice. They assumed it was the family's and considered the case closed, sending Joseph McRonald to the death row. We asked Mr. McRonald's lawyer what he has to say about all this, and what are some flaws that might prove the innocence of this client in the affair. Here's his answer.
This is unacceptable. My client hasn't received a fair and impartial trial. There is an enormous amount of proof that he is innocent. The blood on my client's body hasn't yet been verified, and I'm 100% certain that it's not his family's. The birth surveillance footage has been destroyed, so there is proof missing that could prove my client's innocence. And there are witnesses that they confirm to have seen him outside before the crime. And yet, these testimonies haven't even been acknowledged. We are going to have to do an appeal, once and for all, prove my client's innocence. This affair is not done so soon.
What a story. Everyone on the PP News station wish that everything turns out fine in this trial. For our next topic, we are going to talk about the endless oppression of the Pakistani people. Please welcome Fergio Cappuccino.
Hello. For our next topic, we wanted to talk about a very serious topic. This topic is discrimination. In fact, discrimination is a very rampant for our society, especially these days. As you can see, we are in a very poor country. We wanted to interview someone whose people has been oppressed for generations just for their nationality. Please welcome to Vadim Karoni Piologi. Hey, hi Vadim, how are you?
Hello! Yes, this is for the interview, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I am Vadim Pierogi, but you can just call me Vadim. This is, well, not my house actually, my apartment is upstairs. So I welcome you to my humble abode.
Okay.
Come in. So, this is the communal bathhouse. It's really nothing spectacular. Everybody in this apartment building uses this, so it might be a bit gross sometimes, you know what I mean, huh? Yes, so this is my actual apartment, and this is my... Oh, you don't worry about them, they are...
What did they say? Who?
No, they just complimented me. They are my landlords, actually, so... honestly, they're pretty nice. They drive a hard bargain, especially with the price. It doesn't cost them a lot to live here.
Okay.
So this is my living space corner. So indeed, this is my computer where I work at. I'm actually a technician at Apple. Can you believe that?
Oh yes, of course. And you have an HP.
It's
PC.
yeah, it's
And a
it's,
really modern one, huh?
it's actually top of the line. Can you believe that?
No,
Yeah, it actually. It works very good. This is usually also where I sleep. Actually, it's honestly pretty comfy.
And how many people?
This is
live
my-
here?
Hmm?
How many people live here?
Just me.
Just you.
Just me.
And you have just this corner.
Yeah.
Ah.
I only reserve this space actually.
So tell us your story, Vadim.
Okay. Well, most importantly, and really what you came here for is I am Pizzakistanian. So it's actually a not very well known country in Europe. It's actually not that far from Russia. It's actually so not well known that politically or socially it's not really recognized. Pizzakistan has a very rich history. It's kind of it's heartbreaking, really. And so I left Pizzakistan for to work in Belgium to so I can earn money for my family. I actually have a picture of my family. Yeah, they.
Oh, they're beautiful.
So Pizzakistan has a pretty big controversy actually. Mine own grandfather actually invented pizza. Can you believe that? He actually went to Italy to share his beautiful recipe with Italian public. Except that the instant that they hired him and that they learned about his genius recipe, they actually fired him, and they stole his own idea of his culinary recipe, and they showed it to the queen, and she loved it so much that Italy has forever been linked to pizza. It has become pretty much a national delicacy.
How? That's heartbreaking. How do strangers treat you when you tell them you're Pizzakistanian?
In the workforce, whenever I tell anyone, an employee or an employer or an interviewee, whenever I tell them my nationality, they mock me. They think I'm kidding, that I'm making fun of them just by stating my own nationality, which is very insulting to me.
Well, as a Pakistanian, what would you like to change in the world to make it more friendly to Pizzakistanian?
Well, the biggest thing that I want to change in the world is that people actually recognize our country economically, socially, politically, in any way, shape, or form that people could really. This is actually exactly why I am doing this interview, to shed a light on this problem.
Final question. Your people were the one who actually invented pizza. So, you must know every secret technique to make a pizza taste as good as possible. So, what's your favorite pizza?
I don't like pizza, actually. What a heartbreaking situation. We send our best regards to the Pizzakistani people. But for our next topic, we are going to talk about the very last battle of the First World War. Please welcome Vince Volavant.
Thanks, Donald. For our next heading, War and Peace, we wanted to speak about the last battle of the First World War. After 4 years of intense fight in trench, soldiers will pass from a war environment to a peace environment. The Battle of Vrigny-Meuse is the last battle of the First World War. To talk about this topic, we brought in this gentleman. Please welcome to Mr. Keke Spaghetti. So welcome, sir. Introduce yourself.
So hi everyone, my name is Keke Spaghetti and I'm an expert in history.
Okay, can you tell us about the Vrigny-Meuse battle?
Indeed, the Battle of Vrigny-Meuse is an attack led by the French infantry against the German positions between November 9 and 11, 1918, during the First World War in the Ardennes. This was the last battle of the First World War. On November 9, 1918, still, the 415th Infantry Regiment, RI, tries to cross the Meuse between Dom-le-Mesnil and Vrigne-Meuse. Bridges are installed by the divisional engineers. The very next day, the 3 battalions of the 405th Battalion, composed of 700 men, were outnumbered to face the German forces. On November 11 at 10:30 a.m., the dispatch rider Augustin Trébuchon brought a message to his captain. He's actually the last French soldier to be officially dead for France. However, some historians say that another soldier is said to have died 5 minutes before Augustin, so before 11 a.m., by a German shell fire. Or even more, they say that a number of soldiers who were killed on November 11, 1918, still, their deaths were transcribed on the registration cards for November 10, 1918. Because it was too difficult to confess and tell the families that their son, their husband, or their brother had been killed the very day of the armistice. On November 11, 1918, in Vrigne-Meuse, the bugle Octave de la Lugue sounded the armistice. He is the only bugle to have sounded the armistice on the front in a full combat. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presence. By the way, you're writing a book, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. I'm writing a book related to Muslims, actually, everything about Islam. And it's very funny, but I think that Muslims and everything related to Islam is the cause of the First World War and the Second World War. I really think that the Muslims are the big problem of our society. They're the
Good.
the huge problem. You know, the big.
Every year, 130 million bikes are sold in the world. That's 4 bikes a second. It has become the most sold individual means of transport worldwide. About 780,000 accidents involving bikes occur each year, which shows how important it is to ride safely.
Are you ready? Feta with water and its taste? Same taste, but vodka. Drink it like water. The best drinks with friends. From Russia.
Very nice.
PP Vodka is here for you.
Imagine doing whatever you want. Build and reinvent your home. Create a better world for your children. You have the chance to create a future by yourself. Achieve your destiny.
Let's go!
Hey you, yes you. How many phones have you had in your life, and why do you keep buying new one? It was either broken or simply too old, right? And how much does a phone cost on average? Way too much, but don't worry, Samsung got your back with the brand new Samsung One, the unbreakable and timeless phone. Indeed, this phone has updates like you were never seen before.
Wow.
thanks to a software simply by Asung. But what makes the phone so popular is the fact that it's unbreakable, as you can see in this video. You see? Unbreakable! So don't hesitate for a second. The phone is available in every store you can think at the extremely reasonable price of 90,000 euro. Asung, we are here for the money. For you. Yes, for you.
Hey, you're awake. You must be wondering where you are and who am I. None of that matters now. The only important thing is why you are here. I have easily stolen your data and kidnapped you with that private information. If only you'd protected yourself. With NordVPN. The only VPN that can protect you against any cyber attack. Bye, NordVPN.
And we're back. Ad time is over, and we have a new guest here who is going to, ironically, talk about advertisements and how they work. Please welcome Peter Brownies.
Hello to you too, audience. Thanks for the invitation, Donald.
Well, Peter, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Of course. I'm a marketing analyst expert. I evaluate the advertisement and the different techniques they use to manipulate the consumers they target.
Wow, that's very interesting. You must be pretty famous.
Naturally, I'm just not an honorary marketing analyst.
Ah, what a bummer. Well, can you provide an example of an advertisement and how it works?
Of course, let's do that.
So, what does an advertisement need to be effective? A logo, be it for the brands or a new one specially for this advertisement. A flashy color, especially a warm color. A slogans, make it catchy and short. Make a rule for yourself, no longer than 5 words. The decoration, around the product to add some flair. And the product itself, of course. First of all, you have to place the product in the middle to accentuate its importance. Next step, the decoration. They have to be behind the product to not take away from its importance. After that, you're gonna add some colors to the background. A little bit here, a little bit there. Then you have to add the slogans. Either above or below the product, we don't care. Lastly, the logo. Put it in a corner so the consumer knows that the product is your brand's product. And now, you have to add the finishing touch. Enter, you have it. The perfect advertisement. So Donald, what do you think?
I love it. It's very beautiful. And that was very educative. Which brings me to our next topic, education, and the effects of the coronavirus on it. Please welcome James Ice-T.
Thanks, Donald. I'm here with my associate, Jigo Daniel, to talk about education, and more particularly about the recent trend of online school. So let's begin. As you might know, the pandemic has impacted pretty much all the areas in our lives, and especially education, which students and teachers are a part of. So, but Jigad, what has the COVID changed in the education system particularly?
Well, it is quite complicated. Every country has its own methods when it comes to organizing the way students learn. Of course, online school only applies to older pupils, like those from high school and university. So the way it works is basically the same as if it were face-to-face classes, but at home, and with a computer instead of a human contact. This is where it gets complicated. First of all, not all pupils and students can afford a computer, right? And a fast internet connection, which is highly recommended in online school. So some of them might get left behind, and that is simply unfair.
Yeah, and I agree. And second of all, teachers are not used to teaching this way. Indeed, they often take a lot of time to do simple tasks online, or they simply don't do them, which leaves the students and pupils on their own, and sometimes causes anxiety or even depression. Um,
Finally, balancing everything can quickly become impossible when different teachers give too many of their own assignments, with no regards to what other teachers might have given.
Yeah, but I have a question for you. What do you think education will look like in, let's say, a decade?
Interesting question. I think that the education system will be more organized thanks to what it's living now. It will have learned from its mistakes, and every school will have a better knowledge when it comes to online school, and whenever a pandemic comes, they will be more organized and the switch will be much easier.
All right. Okay. So that's all we have time for today. We'll see you next week. Thanks for being here.
And that was today's last topic. But don't switch off yet. We've still got the weather. Take it away, my cake.
Good evening, audience. As you might have seen, today was a very windy day with heavy rain. The maxima for this evening are 40 degrees for the north, 38 degrees for the west, 35.6 degrees for the southern coast, and 40 degrees for the east. The wind will come from the east to the west with gusts of 40 to 60 km per hour. We have sent a reporter to the east coast. Yes, quite my cake. I'm on the
East.
Eagle Beach and I can already observe ghosts of winds, and in distance we can see clouds arriving at the high speed. This night is going to be hectic, Mr. Cake.
Well, that was dumb. Which brings me to our next topic, education.
Hello?
I think they love you really much.
Insulting them by stating my own nationality. Also, they often make... attends, est-ce qu'on va vraiment parler du baptisage d'enfants avec la sauce de tomate? Oui.
Good evening, audience. Voilà, fini.
Non. Yo.
Good evening, audience. As you might have seen, today was a... Good evening, audience. As you might have seen, today was a very windy day with heavy rain. The temperature... Bougez ma main, tout le monde.